What is going on, guys? It's your boy Big Dylan and welcome back to another Destiny build guide. Today I'm going to be taking a look at one of my Stormcaller builds. The reason I'm actually uploading this is because it's arc burn in the weekly heroic strikes this week as of when I'm uploading this video. Anyway, let's get into the skill tree. So for the grenade, storm grenade; for the jump, focus burst; for the super, superconductor; for the melee, rising storm; arcane spirit, transcendence, divine order, and arc web. Anyway, now let's get into some of the weapons. Now obviously, like I just said a couple of seconds ago, it's arc burn in the weekly heroics this week, so everything I'm using is arc. Obviously, weapons, completely personal preference. Whatever you like to use, slap it on and have fun with the class in general. Now let's move over to the armor. Now, the exotic that makes this subclass possible is the Impossible Machines. Basically, it grants landfall. If you don't know what landfall is, basically on activating your super, it does like a Titan smash effect on the floor and it'll kill loads of enemies below you. So very effective indeed. But absolutely amazing exotic, and it really does, make the subclass great. Now, for stats, we're going to be trying to get tier 5 intellect and tier 5 discipline. I could only hit tier 4 discipline, unfortunately, because I don't have the right stat rolls on my gear, but definitely try and get tier 5 intellect and discipline, guys, and then just as much strength as possible, and then you should be good to go. Anyway, let's get into some of the gameplay. Right, now that we've got the general build out the way, the skill tree and the armor piece that makes the build really good, let's get into some of the positives and the negatives of this build. So first of all, I'm actually going to start off by saying that this build is pretty much good for anything. You can kill mages, kill adds. It's a really good ad clearing build. Not very good for damaging, big bosses at the end of strikes or raid bosses, but this build in general focuses on clearing adds. Any low level mobs like Scions, Thrall, Vandals, Dregs, Acolytes, all those sorts of enemies. This build is very efficient at clearing them out. One of the next benefits to this class is actually the grenade. The grenade is insane if you land the actual grenade correctly, especially with the arc web where it chains to other enemies nearby. If you damage an enemy with the grenade, it's very effective, super effective. Especially with the arc burn modifier, it's like amped up about 10 times of what it usually does, so definitely the grenade is one of the key things to the build. Another thing that I like about this build, obviously we're using on the melee, one of the talents where if you land a melee hit, it gives you some melee energy and super energy, which is very nice. Obviously with us not having any strength in our build, obviously being able to get some strength back if you do use your melee is actually very nice. Perk to have in there. Also, obviously the bonus super energy is always great also. Now, a couple of the disadvantages to this build, it's a little bit squishy, I felt this week, especially with the arc burn. You seem to get melted quite quickly by certain enemies. The only other time I felt like I could really push enemies efficiently was when I had my super, so it's definitely a little bit on the squishy side even with max armor recovery. But yeah, I mean, the class is amazing for clearing adds. That's pretty much, it's insane. It's probably the best ad clearing build that I ever used in the entire game. Absolutely phenomenal for this week's heroic strikes. So definitely, guys, that's probably the benefits and the negatives, and it's just a lot of fun in general to use. Especially, I think it's a superconductor combined with the landfall. Obviously, being able to just like Titan smash enemies and then just chain them all with your lightning is just absolutely insane. As you can see on screen, I just absolutely spawn trapped all his captains and it was just ridiculous. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this build. Hope you enjoyed. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed. Comment any questions down below. Subscribe to the channel for future Destiny videos, and